the commander of Bravo Company of 2nd Battalion, 210th Aviation Regiment, Captain Connolly. At this time, we would like to recognize all veterans in attendance and watching online. Thank you for your selfless service and sacrifice in the defense of our nation. Distinguished guests, family members, and friends, on behalf of the 128th Aviation Brigade Command Team, welcome to today's graduation ceremony for 15 Tango UH-60 helicopter repairer, classes 051 and 052. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the invocation given by Chaplain Coltrane and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
Good morning to you all. I invite you to pray in your faith tradition as I pray in my own. Let us pray. Holy God, this morning as we welcome this new group of soldiers into the aviation family, we give thanks for all of the ways that this journey has challenged them and transformed them. We are grateful for the hard work they have done and the people who have cared for them and supported them along the way. Even as we pause for a moment to celebrate this graduation, we know that these soldiers are preparing for the next chapter in the incredible journey above the best. May you guide each of them here, giving them wisdom and humility. And we ask that you continue to bless our nation and grant us peace. Amen.
Please be seated. Army aviation maintenance training began at Fort Eustis, Virginia in 1954. Since its beginning, Fort Eustis has continued a legacy of maintenance training excellence, training active duty, National Guard, and Army Reserve soldiers, along with Air Force personnel and international partners. With a lineage that dates back to Operation Just Cause in Panama, the Army redesignated the United States Army Aviation Logistics School as the 128th Aviation Brigade on February 1st, 2012. Today, the 128th Aviation Brigade trains over 5,500 soldiers annually in every Army aviation helicopter specialty. A 15 Tango UH-60 helicopter repairer is primarily responsible for the maintenance of the Black Hawk helicopters. They remove and install aircraft subsystem assemblies such as engines, rotors, gearboxes, transmissions, and mechanical flight controls. Service and lubricate aircraft and subsystems, prepare aircraft for inspections and maintenance checks, and diagnose, troubleshoot faults for all aircraft components. The guest speaker for today's ceremony is Chaplain Lieutenant Colonel Mark Olson. Chaplain Olson commissioned in the U.S. Army in 2007 as a 56 Alpha chaplain officer and is currently serving as the senior planner for the Office of the U.S. Army Chief of Chaplains. Please refer to Chaplain Olson's biography in your program to learn more about his selfless service to our nation. Please join us in giving a warm welcome to Chaplain Olson.
It is truly a privilege to be here today, not as an Army chaplain, not as a lieutenant, but as a father of a soldier trained along with 24 of his peers to be the future of our American fighting army. It is an honor to stand here with these young men and women who have served so well to this point in their journey, who have worked so hard to get to this point, and today we are here to honor them, to celebrate them, and to recognize their accomplishments. But as a father, I find myself standing here proud, thinking about a young man that I raised from a child, led through 18 years at the time, followed me around the Army. And I think about the journey that we have walked together. And so as I look at you young soldiers here this morning, I want to remind you of a very important truth, that you sit here today, you stand here today, not on your own accord, standing on the shoulders of those that have gone before you. I look on the other side of this audience today and I see moms, I see dads, I see siblings, I see friends, I see family who have all invested into your journey. I look along this wall and I see cadre, I see leaders, I see people who have walked the same journey that you have walked. And they are here at Fort Eustis, Virginia, giving you everything they've got to set you up for success. Because where you sit today is the starting point of an incredible journey that will live itself out into a part of future videos that play on this wall. My very first assignment was in aviation, Battalion 3 Fort Aviation, battalion out of Fort Hood, Texas, 4th Infantry Division. Once got to Iraq, Camp Taji, Iraq, through the ring route, through hundreds of missions. And one of the things I want you to understand and think about that is every one of those missions was dependent upon young men and women like you doing your job, doing it well, and making sure that those birds were able to fly and return back to base safely. So I'm excited about your future, I'm excited about your journey, and I'm excited about where you're going. When I think about my military journey, I realize that I too stand on the shoulders of those that have gone before me. My dad was in the Army long before I was, back in the 1950s, in the Korean War, the Vietnam War, but I only spent 2 years. And in those 2 years, he was court-martialed 3 times and spent 11 months in the field. So that's the heritage that I'm standing with today. And I tell people all along this journey, I'm doing my best to continue to improve upon this record. As I think about you sitting here today, I realize that your journey is still in front of you. And what your years in the Army looks like is dependent upon who you are as a person. My hope and my prayer today is that when you get to the end of your journey, you're going to look back and you're going to say, that was a ride worth riding, a journey worth traveling. But the question mark is how do we get there? How do we end up in a position where we look back with no regrets, proud of what we have done? Well, we get there by knowing who we are. We get there by knowing where we're going. We get there by knowing what we should be doing along the way, and we get there by doing it together. General George C. Marshall said that a soldier's heart, a soldier's spirit, a soldier's soul are everything. And that unless a soldier's soul sustains him or her, in the end, they will fail themselves, their commander, and their country. The Army recognizes that you as people are more than just your body, more than just your training, more than just your physical fitness. They recognize that you have a physical aspect to you, a mental aspect to you, a spiritual aspect to you as well as your nutrition and your sleep. These are the 5 domains of holistic health and fitness. But as a chaplain, we have to harness that spiritual domain of our holistic health as people. And when we talk about spiritual, we're not talking about religion. We're talking about who you are down deep inside, that person that exists inside of that body that you walk around in every day. That spiritual domain recognizes your core values. It recognizes your beliefs. It recognizes your purpose. One of the things I've discovered along the way is that unless we know who we are down deep inside, we will not be able to sustain our way through the journey. My first 10 years in the Army, I was separated from my family for 5 years. 33 months of deployed combat time, as well as many other times being gone to JRPC and NPC and training up in Alaska and many places. And those times took their toll. And I found myself asking the question along the way, what am I doing? What is my purpose? So I want to give you 4 P's real quick. I want you to lock these in your memory because these 4 P's will set you up for success along the way. The first thing I want to give you is this, purpose. Why are you here? Where are you going? What is the purpose of your journey? Why did you join the Army to start with? Some of you joined the Army because you hope to serve the country and to be a warrior and perhaps do some great things. Others of you joined the Army perhaps for some college education, for GI Bill, some reasons like that. Some of you joined the Army because you needed to escape something. Some of you had other reasons. But at the end of the day, we can't be running from something. We need to be running for something. I want to ask you the question, where are you going? What is your purpose in life? If we know where we're going, then we get the second thing. The second thing is this. What is your path? How are you going to get there? If I know that I'm going to serve 20 years in the Army, then my pathway is I know I need to attend certain schools. I need to accomplish certain things. I need to pass certain goals. This is my pathway. This is how I'm going to get to where I want to go. One of the interesting things about the journey, though, as we continue to walk this course, is that with every step, our horizon continues to change. And we can see further and further into our future as we continue to move forward. And as our horizon changes, our purpose also begins to change and shape as we begin to be exposed to more and more of all that the world has to offer. And I hope that as you continue your journey, your new 14th as you go to your next duty station, your eyes begin to open to all that this life has to offer. As there are so many great opportunities. What is your purpose? What is your pathway? What is your future? What are your practices? These are your self-disciplines. These are the things you do every day. I remember hearing a great video by a Navy Admiral speaking to Annapolis graduates. And he started his speech by saying that start every day by making your day. Why is that important? Because that's a foundational practice of starting your day right. Get up, make your bed, get your life in order, eat your breakfast, get yourself together, and then engage your day already having started well. That's a practice. What other kind of practices do we have? Well, we have practices of being a self-learner, of going to the internet or to a library, wherever else, and getting the materials we need to study, to learn, and to grow, to become that person that we want to be. I also have spiritual practices that help center the core of who I am. And make sure that my heart, my soul, my spirit is ready to face whatever the day has to come. Perhaps you have other practices in your life that help you. But know what your practices are. Put those into practice every single day. And the final thing is this. What is your purpose? What is your pathway? What are your practices? Who are you people? Who are you doing this life for? Because I'm going to tell you, this army isn't an army of one. It is an army of us. Doing this life together. Depending upon one another. Interlocking in our journey together, locking arms, helping each other, encouraging one another, because this Army isn't a race. It isn't a sprint. It's a marathon. It's a long journey. And if we don't do this journey together, we will ultimately fail ourselves, our commander. Ladies and gentlemen, this Army cares about you. I'm going to tell you one very important truth. Unless you take care of you, nobody else will. You've got to start with those four: purpose, pathway, and action. Wake up each day, take care of yourself, do what you need to do to set yourself in the right place. Know where you're going, know what your pathway is for the day, know the things that you've got to do, and know the things you're going to do. And I promise you this, as you do those four things each and every day, you are on the career. And in the rest of your life, you will be successful. Whatever that looks like for you, you will be successful. And at the end of the day, that's our goal, to see you enjoy a life worth living. A life worth living, a life that has purpose, a life that has meaning, and a life that when you get to the end of that journey, you look back and say, that was a life worth living. Thank you so much for the opportunity to share with you this morning. Colonel Rada, thank you for the opportunity to share the plan with these young soldiers and their families this morning. Mom, dad, brothers, sisters out there, friends, family, congratulations on a job well done. You have raised your soldier well, and they're sitting here today as a token of all the sacrifices. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor that we will now present diplomas to the graduates. Please feel free to move around, take photos throughout the presentation. The distinguished graduate is that soldier who received the highest marks throughout the course. These graduates are selected on academic standing, leadership, physical fitness, and discipline. The distinguished graduate will receive a certificate of achievement from the 128th Aviation Brigade and a brigade point. The distinguished graduate for Class 052-25 is Private Carlos Martin. Private Carlos is from Phoenix, Arizona, and will be assigned to the 1st Armored Division Combat Aviation Brigade, Fort Bliss, Texas. The distinguished graduate for Class 051-25 is Private Second Class Tullis James. Private Second Class Tullis is from Auburn, Georgia, and will be assigned to the 16th Combat Aviation Brigade, Fort Lewis, Washington. The honor graduate is that soldier who is the second highest graduate of their class. They will receive a certificate of achievement from the 128th Aviation Brigade. The honor graduate for 052-25 is Specialist Gonsalves Enrique. Specialist Gonsalves is from Lake St. Louis, Missouri, and will be assigned to the 35th Combat Aviation Brigade, Missouri National Guard. The honor graduate for 051-25 is Private First Class Weber Landon. Private First Class Weber is from Rogers, Arkansas, and will be assigned to the 77th Combat Aviation Brigade, Arkansas National Guard. Specialist Meyer William. Specialist Meyer is from Marion, Illinois, and will be assigned to the 106th Aviation Regiment, Illinois National Guard. Private First Class Benitez Rajina. Private First Class Benitez is from Jerez, Zacatecas, Mexico, and will be assigned to the 36th Combat Aviation Brigade, Texas National Guard. Family members and guests selected for pinning, please come forward now to honor our graduates as they prepare to take the next step in their Army aviation careers. Please be seated. Private First Class Johnson Alexander. Private First Class Johnson is from Hammond, Louisiana, and will be assigned to the 244th Aviation Regiment, Louisiana National Guard. Private First Class McKee Gavin. Private First Class McKee is from Rochester, Indiana, and will be assigned to the 38th Combat Aviation Brigade, Indiana National Guard. Private First Class Parkin Lindsay. Private First Class Parkin is from Springfield, Missouri, and will be assigned to the 35th Combat Aviation Brigade, Missouri National Guard. Private First Class Torres Gabriel. Private First Class Torres is from Sacramento, California, and will be assigned to the 40th Combat Aviation Brigade, California National Guard. Private First Class Tweedy Blake. Private First Class Tweedy is from Huntsville, Alabama, and will be assigned to the 16th Combat Aviation Brigade, Fort Lewis, Washington. Private Second Class Roberts Brady. Private Second Class Roberts is from Nashville, Tennessee, and will be assigned to the 16th Combat Aviation Brigade, Fort Lewis, Washington. Family members and guests selected for pitting, please come forward now to honor our graduates as they prepare to take the next step in their Army aviation careers. Please be seated. Private Second Class Umu Sila. Private Second Class Umu is from Lacey, Washington, and will be assigned to the 168th Aviation Regiment, Washington National Guard. Private Guzman Gabriel. Private Guzman is from Omaha, Nebraska, and will be assigned to the 35th Combat Aviation Brigade, Nebraska National Guard. Specialist Eagledale Tyler. Specialist Eagledale is from Richfield, Minnesota, and will be assigned to the 34th Combat Aviation Brigade, Minnesota National Guard. Specialist Uri Ahmed. Specialist Uri is from Sarasota, Florida, and will be assigned to the 1st Combat Aviation Brigade, Fort Riley, Kansas. Private First Class Boric Nicholas. Private First Class Boric is from Jupiter, Florida, and will be assigned to the 111th Aviation Regiment, Florida National Guard. Private First Class Frazier Ryan. Private First Class Frazier is from Lincoln, Nebraska, and will be assigned to the 35th Combat Aviation Brigade, Nebraska National Guard. Family members and guests selected for pinning, please come forward now to honor our graduates as they prepare to take the next step in their Army aviation careers. Please be seated. Private First Class Bryce Maximilian. Private First Class Bryce is from Phoenix, Arizona, and will be assigned to the 10th Combat Aviation Brigade, Fort Drum, New York. Private First Class Olson John. Private First Class Olson is from Dayton, Tennessee, and will be assigned to the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Private First Class Ramsey Cole. Private First Class Ramsey is from Waynesville, Missouri, and will be assigned to the 35th Combat Aviation Brigade, Missouri National Guard. Private Second Class Cluetry Carter. Private Second Class Cluetry is from New Orleans, Louisiana, and will be assigned to the 244th Aviation Regiment, Louisiana National Guard. Private Buck Theodore. Private Buck is from Summerdale, Alabama, and will be assigned to the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Private Engel Jagger. Private Engel is from Mesa, Arizona, and will be assigned to the 1st Air Cavalry Brigade, Fort Hood, Texas. Family members and guests selected for pinning, please come forward now to honor our graduates as they prepare to take the next step in their Army aviation careers. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, we present the newest members of the Army Aviation family. Now we turn to a special part of our ceremony. The distinguished graduate will present a token of appreciation to Chaplain Mark Olson. This symbolizes our sincere gratitude for their presence and the wisdom they have imparted. Their words today have not only enlightened us, but have also added a meaningful dimension to this important milestone in our graduates' journey. The team of non-commissioned officers and civilian instructors who trained and mentored the graduates are assigned to the 1st Battalion of the 222nd Aviation Regiment and 2nd Battalion, 210th Aviation Regiment. Together, this outstanding team instructed your soldiers in discipline, physical fitness, warrior tasks and battle drills, and fundamental aviation maintenance practices. They led and mentored America's sons and daughters so that one day they too may become a non-commissioned officer. The drill sergeants and instructors for today's graduating classes are Staff Sergeant Green, Matthew, Drill Sergeant Rigg, Brandon, and yours truly, Staff Sergeant Parada, Michael. Please join us in giving a round of applause to these outstanding drill sergeants and instructors. Please rise for the playing of the Aviation Song and the Army Song. We ask that all soldiers in uniform remain standing and join us in reciting the Aviation Mechanic's Creed and Soldier's Creed. Family and friends, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's graduation ceremony. Please come forward to congratulate your soldiers and take photographs. Thank you for attending. Above the best, born under fire.